Login accepted.
Hey everyone, welcome to the tech capital of the world. My name's Bobby Davis here. We're live at Coder Feder. It's been a minute, Kevin, since we've been live.
It has.
I think
We're
we
back.
forgot how to do this.
I know. I'm actually surprised this started off without a hitch. At least I think it did.
Yeah.
Everything looks like we're live on the internet.
I had a couple of freezes on my end, so kind of funny.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, that's okay.
Oh.
I don't know if it's having a bad bandwidth day.
Okay. Well, this is the first time we've been live since having my brand new shiny gigabit internet, so hopefully that's not an issue. It's not just bad.
Yeah, Broadcast Central over there in Kevin's house. So
yeah, it is now. Yeah. Now I got all the bandwidth now. Now it's great. Yeah, so we thought we'd do a live for two reasons.
Yeah.
One, because we hit 100K subscribers on YouTube, which is awesome. It's a personal goal for us more than anything. It's like it's a vanity metric for us, which we've kind of
that plaque is going back on that wall there, man.
Exactly. I'm getting one for back here too. We've 100% strived to get there, and we finally did. So that's awesome. And thank you to every single one of you guys who subscribed to us, who got us there. We don't get there without people. So thank you to everybody that did that. And then secondly, we thought maybe we take a little bit of time to look back on some things, and also we're going to do our giveaway too. We promised we were going to do a giveaway. We've been running a giveaway for a while now, so we're going to give away a whole bunch of cool stuff, and we'll get to that in a little bit. Because we have I was looking through the data. You know, we started this contest 2 years ago. Yeah. Yeah.
It took us 2 years. We thought we would like zoom up the charts. You know,
I know.
And,
it's been a minute. Yeah, it's been a minute.
But that's pretty cool. So like I remember I tweeted about it on Twitter, and someone DM'd me back and said, "Hey, you're still giving away that computer, right?" It's like
yes,
remembered. Come on.
Yes, yes, we are. So BK says, "Congrats for hitting 100K."
BK,
thank you. Mr. E says, "The first live of 2024." Yes, it is. It's our first live of 2024, and thank you for all the congratulations there. In chat too. So that's drop a few more of these, because this is nice. We like this. Thank you, and thank you. We appreciate it. So yeah, you don't have to be here to win our grand prize giveaway today, but we are going to do some other giveaways. So for the people that are here, we are going to give away some stuff. We're going to give away some books and some course access. So yeah, we're going to give away those to people in chat, which actually I need to pull that up. Let me look here real quick.
So Claire, we haven't got our plaque yet. We have to get approval from YouTube.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Yeah.
We're stingy with those plaques. Come on, YouTube.
They are. They're yeah, they're a little strange about like when they decide to give them away. Like the rules around them. They have to do a whole bunch of checks to make sure that you haven't done anything wrong or put their terms of service, I guess, or whatever. I don't know. They give it like a week or so before they let you even decide it. What do I want to go to? Oh, so we're gonna use Nightbot, I think, to run a couple of giveaways today. So
and Pat said he remembered when he filled the form out. He remembered filling the form out, like, you know.
Okay.
Is that one of your best memories in life, Ben? I mean, just wondering, you know, like graduated high school.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Form out at Foundry.
Yeah. Yeah. Got married, kids.
First car.
Yeah. Foundry filled out the form for the. Yeah. That's it. Oh, that's funny.
Lambo giveaway. I love that.
Yeah. See, I'm not sure that a little Nightbot giveaway is going to work. You know, I told you this was going to be a problem. I just had a feeling about Nightbot being an issue, and it is going to be an issue. So I'm going to have to randomly pick people from chat.
Okay.
So that's okay. I can totally do that.
So we knew this question was going to come up. Just go ahead and put Simon's question up. We'll just get this one out of the way, Kevin. You know what the question's about. So.
Oh, yeah, of course. I was like, this question's gonna come up. So
yes. Here's the deal on the .NET 8 course. We taught it. We're teaching it in person right now, and so I have recorded a good bit of it, and then but in teaching it live the first time, we're making some changes. So we're going back over through what our original schedule was. Instead of rushing it out there, we're going to get it out there in time. So, but yeah, it is coming to self-paced course. So soon. But if you need to have it now, the full-time boot camp's an option. It is taught remote, and we'll be teaching it again here starting in March. So it's been successful with the students. They're learning a lot of stuff. So check us out in March if you want to do it. So if you need to get it in right now, it is still big believers in .NET 8 and Blazor. So pretty excited about it. So we'll get it out there for you.
Yeah, I was just looking to see if I could get this work.
Clara says she remembers watching her first video when she was cleaning out her garage.
Oh, there you go. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So So what we thought we'd start off with here is we thought we'd take a look back on some stuff, didn't we? That's kind of like we wanted to take a look back. So we thought, like, would it be fun to like talk about from our channel? So I kind of like put together some categories, and Bobby and I have chosen some things across these categories that we thought would be kind of interesting, and you can get kind of our kind of insider baseball on stuff on getting to 100K and some of the videos that we made and some of the things that we thought would be good that weren't, some things that we thought wouldn't be good that were, and some of our favorite things and least favorite things, I guess. So let me
I think we can poke fun at ourselves a little bit along the way, you know, like stuff
100%.
we've tried, we've done, you know, like
definitely. So I thought we'd start out with like our favorite comment. I don't know how many. I should have counted actually how many comments we have. That is a stat somewhere we can look at, but I didn't do that. But our favorite comment is I think we actually both picked the same first favorite comment.
As soon as you said what's the favorite comment, we said it immediately right away. This is our favorite comment of all time. You know?
Yeah, and it was on our one coding project video, and it is this comment from Brad here, and it says, "It's a bug tracker with a timestamp. Jesus, land the plane, Larry." So there's a lot of like stuff going on here. Why is this your favorite comment?
Because, well, it's early on in what we're doing. This video that we have has over 1 million views on it, and it's talking about the bug tracker or whatever. And so in our educational thought, and so you got to understand, when we did this, we're new to YouTube. We don't really know the rules of this game or whatever. You know, putting like chapter points in videos was lost on us. We didn't know, like, we just make a video. And so when we made the video initially, we're like, let's go through the whole process inside of Coder Foundry, like tell them why and all of this educational stuff. And I guess on YouTube, you just want us to name check the answer, and all our videos would be 8 seconds. Right. And like, you know, and so,
but we didn't know that.
We didn't know that, you know, like, you know, shorter is better, like, or whatever it is. And so like, but in our defense, when we still to this day, when we go back and look at the one project video, it is like it's all content. We weren't
Yeah.
really
It wasn't
hiding
filler.
it. We were just saying like, you know,
Yeah, we
build a
weren't
bug
attempting
tracker,
to
but
like,
why?
yeah, we weren't
Why?
attempting
Why
to
would you
trick
wanna
and
do
hold
that?
the answer, were we? We thought,
No.
because we didn't put any value in the actual answer. The answer of it's a bug tracker has never been valuable to us. It's the process of making that just so happens that it's a bug tracker.
Yeah, and it hits all of our metrics, which if you went through it, but one of the metrics was build a project everyone recognizes. Because at the time when we're doing this, everyone's talking about build your passion project. And this is where we're seeing things like Pokemon dexes, and we're like, what? That's never going to work in interview, because the interviewer thinks it's dumb, thinks it's stupid, and like, so then you look stupid for making a project that's based on a kid's game. So build a professional grade app, and that app today, 4 years later, still motivates. We got a comment back from students yesterday, and we're like, the bug tracker works, Bobby. We're still showing that in interviews, and people just landed last week. You saw us on Twitter congratulating on it. Someone showed the bug tracker.
Right, it still works.
That's
it's still
why they
great
won.
advice. Yeah,
you know, and it's not because the app itself. There's a lot of psychology that goes in behind it, which is like build an app everyone knows, build an app that solves a business problem, have security, build something of kind of like weighty, meaty kind of app that shows that you really can do this for a living. And that's why it still holds true. And we still get comments from people here. Hey, seeing this in 2024, does the bug tracker still work? I'm like, we're still building it. Yeah.
Yeah, we do. We definitely still get those comments. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is our favorite comment, and you can see the 72 replies. We encourage you to go look into those replies. They are funny. I mean, it is funny.
Because it's the way this person presented it. It's funny because the way this person presented, like, geez, get to the point is what he's saying, but the way that it was presented is really good. So Brad, you did awesome. You got almost 3,000 likes on this comment too.
Yeah,
it's like, it's funny. We recognize.
If Brad was watching this, you have to know that you've influenced CoderRad forever, because we do say land the plane, Larry, quite a bit. You know?
Yeah, that's our like get to the point comment now around here, 100%, because it's genius. We think that's funny.
Yeah, that's our favorite comment. Yeah,
it is. So on that same video though, I think I chose another one that was a little bit different than you chose another one. So the other comment that I chose on the same video, actually, which is one of my favorite ones, which only happened a year ago, was like, I always like seeing these comments. This is a good example of one from Andrew here, where he's kind of coming back and saying that this helped. Like, he continued working on some project. This is 1 year ago. So this video existed for 3 years at this point. So basically saying like, hey, I took some stuff from this and I implemented it and I got a job with no degree. And that always to me is like, I just love those comments. I just love seeing them.
And what's cool about this person, not that I don't know the name, but I would probably know if they were a student or in the self-paced course or something like that when we look at
I don't think it's a student.
No, they're not. And that's what's so good about what we did here. We always approach the YouTube channel separate from our boot camp, and it's not really an advertising arm for Coder Foundry. It does fill that role for us. People do come to ours, but we approach the channel with, let's give out information that can help people land jobs. Let's be as helpful as we can, and then give away all of our secrets on YouTube and see kind of where it goes. So that was the kind of the point, to be educational first.
Exactly. And the fact that it helps people, just like, I always love seeing, we have a ton of these comments, but I just picked this one. It's on that video, and it's from a year ago, for a video that was 3 years old at that point. I just like seeing that. And the other comment that you picked was was this one on the same video again, because you know how we do. We insult tic-tac-toe a lot, and we do in this video. Just like a lot of other videos that we do. We make fun of it, not because it's bad, but but because it shouldn't be your showcase project. So I love that this comment, they were insulted by that tic-tac-toe comment, and you insulted tic-tac-toe enthusiasts.
Right. It's kind of funny. Good. It made me laugh. That one made me laugh.
It's good. It's just good. That's funny. Okay, favorite video. What's your favorite video so far? Yours is a current one, isn't it? Yours is kind of a more recent one.
So at our .NET Live building Blazor movie right now is, I know that's like, I don't know, a recency bias or whatever, but we did this video, and it works a couple of times because like I told Kevin, I said, hey, let's launch Blazor. Let's do a live show with Blazor. And then Kevin's, you got to understand the relationship me and Kevin have is really good. But even though I'm the boss, I look at like a lot of times in Coder Foundry and our YouTube videos, and especially a lot of things in marketing, we're like this. We do kind of like push things back and forth in debate or whatever.
Yeah.
And I can remember he goes, how long is this going to take? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, half a day. He goes, and you're like, I
Like
don't know, it's
half a
too
day.
long. It's really long. Land the plane. I mean, like, is there something that we could do? So we end up doing it, and it took 5 hours to do it. I did a lot
Hold on,
of
5.5 hours. Just to
5.5 hours. And I can remember I was doing a lot of HTML and CSS, and I remember when we got off of it, Kevin comes off. He says, "That was terrible. Like YouTube did us no favors.
No. I didn't. No, hold on. I didn't say the video was terrible. I said YouTube kind of screwed us on it.
Yeah.
Because it was like the way if you know anything about YouTube, the way that they promote like live stuff is different than the way they promote like pre-recorded stuff. And the live stuff, we clearly never made it into anybody's feed. And I was just like, why did we sit here for 5.5 hours for nobody to watch it? And I was like so disheartened about it. Then it got live in post.
Yeah, 22,000 views later. We had people calling the company for us to say, hey, can you do my project and stuff like that. So it's been really successful. And we think we'll probably do some more live coding. Like I'm planning one now that'll be this kind of length again to see if it works. So we'll see if you guys want to watch me code again, like it's F1 racing or something, like the live coding.
I don't think we're Drive to Survive good. I don't know. Maybe we'll.
Netflix. We can get on the new Netflix Live,
So Netflix live coding. That could be interesting. Yeah. Okay, my favorite video. My favorite video is actually the same as this one right here. So the one coding project. And it's not because it's our most popular video. Although that it helps, but that's not why I chose it. It's our most popular video by a long shot. But the reason that I chose it as my favorite video is because I remember that this video is the one that started off our growth on YouTube. So we had, at the time, we had a few thousand subscribers. It wasn't many. It was under 10,000 for sure. Right. It was a few thousand, and we made this video, and I put this video out the day before I went on vacation. And I went on vacation. I went out to the Outer Banks, and we rented a house there. And I remember sitting on the porch of the house, and I was like, oh, I'm going to check YouTube, see what's going on. And I saw this giant spike on YouTube, and I was like, what's happening here? I was like, what did we do? Did something break?
Yeah.
I was like, what happened here? And it was basically this video blew up one day. It just happened all of a sudden. Oh no, this had been out for a while, hadn't it, at this point in time? That was right. I'd put a video out on the Friday before I'd gone on vacation. This wasn't the video that went on the Friday. And I was like, oh, the video that we just put out did well. And I was like, I look back and I'm like, no, that's not doing well. What happened? It was a video that had been, this has been out for, what, 150 days, I think.
Right, before it got any traction.
Like a half a year. It had been out for almost 6 months by the time that it got traction. And all of a sudden, one day, giant spike. And then everybody started watching it, and it went from there. So yeah, nobody watched it for 6 months. It's kind of crazy. And that's why I remember this, because I wasn't here. I'm just having to check it. And then I message you, and I'm like, hey, what's going on YouTube? Like, am I missing something? And then you look at it, and you're like, oh, this video, like, it just blew up. And that was it. And that's what kind of started our trajectory and kept us interested in it, I guess.
Yeah, kept us going, kept doing it, and then Land the Plane Larry,
Yep.
We always laughed about that comment. A little bit inside baseball on that comment. We're like, well, he did watch the whole video.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
So it worked on some level.
That's awesome. Okay. Favorite card. Your favorite card. You chose the fail card.
Yeah, I liked it. I'm a Star Wars fan. I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
Luke
I like this card too. Some hidden messaging in this card too, by the way, because you don't really get to see them in this giant like view normally. But there's a copy of like Windows ME back here and a LastPass, or not a LastPass, a Movie Pass.
That Movie Pass that failed at the time, yeah.
I can't remember what this one is here. Does anybody recognize what this is here? I can't remember what I put up here, but I put a collage of things that I thought were like failures in software, basically.
Yeah.
That's kind of the background here, and I like this card too. This is actually one of my favorite ones too. But cards being kind of like, I love doing the cards for the thumbnails for the videos. But my favorite one's this one, and it's for a couple of reasons. Because I love that I had to fix the screen here for this to be like a coding screen, and I put little Foundry stickers and a JavaScript sticker back here on his laptop. This is a stock photo otherwise. But the title of this video was, what was it called? It was, Unemployed in your 40s. So one of my favorite comments on the video was like, this dude's never 40. He's way older than 40. And I'm like, I know. It's meant to be funny.
It's meant to be funny.
It's meant to be funny. Like, of course he's older than 40s, and of course it's because you feel old. It's like, okay. Some people are quite literal.
Yeah, it's literal. They just went over our heads.
You know, but I thought this one was funny. And then my second favorite card.
And this card was cool. It's another video we thought would do really well, but it didn't. But you know, like it did okay. It's just not a great video.
This was good. You actually wore this jacket and the glasses and held the spoon, and we took a photo.
It was a physical like prop. You know, we didn't paint it in. So, you know.
Yeah, this one was actually legit, and I like this card, but yeah, the video didn't do amazing. But I thought, let's go for like a Matrix-y look on this one. I kind of like this, so yeah, that was my other favorite card. Let's think. Okay, video you thought would bomb, but didn't.
That I thought would bomb, but didn't.
Yep. You didn't choose anything.
Nope.
You didn't give me a video. This tells you a lot about, like, again, Bobby and mine dynamics here, because you didn't choose. I did choose one. You didn't choose one. You're forever optimist about everything we put out. I'm forever pessimistic about everything we put out.
That's a million view video, Kevin, right there. That's gold. We're doing that. Like, that's good.
Everyone with you, which I think is great. It works for us.
Even last week, the one we released last week that didn't do well, I thought that was like, man, how can they not watch this? This is great. I say I most of the time have that same feeling too. Yeah.
You know, I really do for most of them. I'm just like, oh, this one's good. I watch it back and I'll sit for a day and then I'll watch it back in and be like, yeah, this is a good video. It's worth putting out. We put that one out. But I chose one that surprised me that I thought would bomb, but actually did well, and it was the Visual Studio versus Visual Code video. And the reason is it's a 2.5-minute video that is a single take. It's one take of you sat at a desk answering a question about whether they should use Visual Studio or Visual Studio Code. It had 142,000 views. I don't know why. Still. It did so well.
Yeah.
I don't know either. It's not the greatest video at all. It's one we put out. We were doing a series of dev Q&A kind of videos at the time. And we put it out, and 142,000 views is a lot for that style of video, for sure. For a one take with zero effort.
Yeah, and then we follow up with get started with Visual Studio, and it doesn't work, and we still don't understand YouTube to this day.
Right, we still don't know what's going on. Exactly, we made a much better video, and we have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, we spent a lot more time making it.
Exactly. Okay, video you thought would do well. You chose Wordle.
Yeah, see, this was my idea, and you have to understand about Wordle at the time. So I can remember looking at Wordle, and then I showed this to the staff. Said, "Look at local storage inside of Wordle. The answer's in there." And they're like, "What?" And everyone would go, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, the answers are straight in there." And so I said, "Hey, we'll just make a video how to cheat at Wordle, or how to use JavaScript."
Yeah, because we wanted to talk about local storage, right? It had a technical aspect to it, which was really good for us. We thought was super interesting.
And this is right when everyone's posting the Wordle scores and everything. This is the height of Wordle. And I'm like, million views easily. I need to do this right now. I'm making this right now. Million views easily. 2,500 views.
Yeah, 2,500 views 2 years ago. Yeah, complete bomb.
And I thought everyone wanted to cheat at Wordle because everyone wanted to show their 5 stars. You know, like, I did that in one guess. Like, I'm a genius. I do it every day. I'm a genius.
No one was interested at the time or now. So it just lives in the depths of our YouTube channel. The one that I thought would do well but didn't, I chose this one, which I thought had a really cool looking like thumbnail card, this top secret kind of card, and then this kind of like had this James Bondy kind of look to it, and then this exposing coding's biggest secret. I like the title. No one clicked on it. It has 2,500 views. I say no one, so some did, but it didn't do well. But the information there is good still. It's a short video. It's 4 minutes. I think it looks pretty good, but yeah, kind of bombed by us.
Shot it on a green screen, we did.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did. We shot it on a green screen.
The cool background, whatever it was, I figured,
Yeah. And then let's wrap up with a video that took the most work but was the least successful, and that is this one. Triad Startup Demo Day.
So there was a conference that was running inside of our area in Winston-Salem, which is a pretty well-attended tech conference. And we covered it like we were like CNN or Fox News or something like that. We shot on location
Yes, we
I wore a
did.
jacket. I
By the
dressed
way,
up.
we shot this the day before. We went down
Day
to the
before?
location the day before. We shot a bunch of pre-roll that we ran at the beginning, introduction, and then we did a full live production with 3 of us. You,
3
me,
cameras too.
yeah, 3 cameras. You, me behind the scenes, and then Bryce behind the scenes. There was 2 of us and you in front of the camera, and we did a whole 2-hour full-on live event that we pushed out.
And we got this lady in there, you know, like it's a big VC now in Atlanta. I mean, Christy Brown came and did it. So it was really cool for her to be on there. And we had a lot of these startup companies that were doing startups. So this was like a pitch meeting where you go pitch your startup, and then these investors were there, VCs were there to invest in companies. And then there was a winner that was picked, you know. But yeah, we did it, covered it. We had all the vendors come through. I mean, we were there all day long.
Yeah.
This was the guest speaker. That was one that was like,
he was like the keynote, wasn't he?
The keynote guy.
We ran everything. We ran ads in this thing too. This was a fully
produced
live
inserts into the YouTube though. Like you were running ads inside it for our, Fizz Buzz, our drink that at the time we had a drink out.
Yes. Yes, there is a Fizz Buzz ad in here. Here you go. Look, which had like a little music on it. You won't be able to hear it, but you had a little music on it. And then we ran the Coda Foundry ad in there as well. And then we did this 100%. Produced this live. We shot like a bunch. So here's how we did it, because there was only 2 of us doing it. We couldn't we didn't have any in between spots. So in the morning, I remember we shot 2 or 3 sections. We produced them real quick on the fly while we were there at lunchtime. Then after lunch, we had our first live person, and then we ran a pre-roll from the morning that we'd pre-shot. Then we went back to a live again while that was, and then we were like basically running it like back to back. Live versus like pre-shot in the morning and produced. It was crazy. It was a ton of work went into this.
Yeah.
And then
look at the views.
No one watched it.
463 views.
Yeah. And then no one watched it. It's like, oh, okay. It was fun to do, but no one watched it.
It was fun to do. And we had like people would walk. They were standing around looking at it. I mean, it really did look like a full on.
Oh, it looked like a full on. Oh yeah. We had a cooler spot. We had all the lights. We had everything. People kept coming by being like, what are you doing? Just YouTube.
YouTube. Just doing something,
Yeah. Yeah. It was cool. It was very cool. But yeah, a lot of effort and didn't do well in terms of how many views we got on YouTube. But it was fun to do. And we learned a lot.
Yeah. So. Yeah, we did. It was fun.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, let's get to our giveaways then. So we're going to give away... obviously a big prize package today, which includes laptop, a VR headset, and a year's worth of access to Coda Foundry. So you have to have already entered to have done that. But we're going to give away some other... We'll talk about how we're going to do that in a second. We're going to give away some other stuff too. We're going to give away a couple of books and a month's worth of access to the platform as well. What do you want to do first?
I've got it here. This? We'll just go first. I'll sign a copy of Breaking the Code. I'll send it out to someone.
Okay.
And we'll do that first.
Okay.
It's like in my stack here. So I've got that right here.
Okay. So here's what I want you to do, everybody. Make any comment in chat, because I'm going to randomly just choose somebody from chat. So just make a quick comment. Can be anything in chat. We'll give you a couple seconds here to do that. And I'm going to randomly just choose someone. From chat, and we'll do that for a few of these because we have another book to give away to you, which we'll do in a second. The big one we're going to do a little bit differently. While we're waiting for that, and while you guys are in chat making a comment, for the bigger giveaway, we thought like we could have done like a random number generator, or like just randomly chose it from a spreadsheet or something. But I was like, let's do something interesting. Bobby, can you code it?
I can code it in Blazor. I'm going to code a random picker in Blazor, and then we'll do that live, and then we'll use it to pick the winner.
Yeah, that's cool.
So,
I thought that was cool.
Cool. I
thought that was cool. So we're going to live code something, and then it's going to pick the winner from, what do we have, a JSON file or something?
It's a JSON file, yeah.
So it's a JSON file. We're just going to randomly choose somebody from that file, and that will be our big winner. So we'll do that in a minute here. I'm going to choose somebody at random. Okay, so here's my chat up here. I'm going to scroll, and I'm just going to randomly choose somebody. It's going to be wherever my cursor lies. Is who I'm going to choose. Let me see. I'm not looking at it. I promise. It's over this way. I'm going to randomly choose right here. So who is it on? It is on Salish Pande. I wonder if Salish is still here. Was it Salesh? It could be Salesh. If you are still here, Salesh, I need you to do one thing for me. Drop an email to info@coderfoundry.com and I will get you hooked up.
The only thing is, if you're not in the U.S., we probably can't ship it. So
oh yes. Oh yeah.
$200 to ship it.
Good point. Yeah, it costs us a fortune to ship something overseas before. So yeah, you do have to be in the US.
We have shipped stuff to Nepal. We're not doing that anymore.
Yes. I forgot about that. It did cost us a lot last time.
Yeah.
So yeah, let me make a note of that too, just so I have that. Let's see. That's this one.
Someone's putting in there. If selected, console right line, I'm the winner.
Okay. Let's while we're doing this, then let's give away the other book too.
So get this other book here. This
yes.
is like the C# 12 .NET 8 Bible.
Yeah,
everything in here from Maui, .NET Core, Blazor. Pretty good book.
Yeah, this book came from our friend Antoine. He messaged me on Discord. I don't know if he's here today. I don't know if I've seen him actually. I think he is.
Yep.
But yes, thank you so much for donating. He donated this book to us to do whatever we want with. So we wanted to give it away to somebody.
Give it away.
So we thought we'd give it away during this thing. So I'm going to do the same thing again here. I'm going to choose somebody at random here for the list. And it's not the same person. It's not. It's Simon. Is it McGruick?
Yeah.
I hope I'm pronouncing that right.
Simon won. We know Simon. We talked to him earlier here today, so he's always on our lives.
Yep.
Good job, Simon. Send us the info at Coder Foundry, and I think Kevin will ship you out a C# 12 and .NET 8 book. It's pretty cool.
Yes. Congrats, Simon. Okay, we'll save the other one till the end. Let's get in and do the coding. Let's do that part.
Okay.
We need to make sure that we hit that part. So I know it's gonna take a minute. So you can do this not from total scratch, but the coding part, the logic part, you do from scratch, right?
Yeah, I did some of the UI stuff ahead of time, so you can kind of see where we're going, and then. But let me just jump over there.
Yeah, I'll throw it over to you, and you can. Share your screen.
Tell me if you can see me there.
Yep, looking great.
All right, good. All right, so this is .NET 8, 2020. Whatever, the brand new version of Visual Studio just updated here a few minutes ago. Let me show you what we're going to build. And I thought about like using this just to pick the render on screen and use my custom app, but I was like, well, why don't we just build it and show you kind of how it works? And I think you'll learn a little bit about Blazor and kind of how this works and what it's really cool. Now we're going to build this in WebAssembly, and this is the app here running. It'll run here in a second. And you can see what I have is just an app. I'm going to click this button and I'm going to get a countdown clock, and then it'll pick a random name out of a list of a JSON file. Okay. And so I'm not going to go over the CSS to do this. It's just a background image here, nothing here, an H1 tag, and then just a button. And that's all it does right now. So let's kind of like show you. Let's go start working on it here. That'd be kind of cool. Get it off to the side here. All right. So I've got Visual Studio here. And if you look in here, I've got a page here. And this is just a page inside of Blazor. This is how you route to the page. And so this at page directive tells it what page to bring up here. And the / route is like home. And then I'm going to use HTTP to get to my JSON later. But this is how you inject things or bring kind of other libraries into a page itself. So inside here, everything else in here is, if you're used to seeing Bootstrap or HTML, this is all just Bootstrap and HTML. So nothing in here that's really Blazor specific. And then we have a code behind here that will write our code in C#, but it functions equivalently to JavaScript. So when you look at Blazor, especially on the WASM end, look at this as a alternative to React or Angular. A lot of people ask us, why can't I use and name your JavaScript library with Blazor? And it's because Blazor does that, and you don't want to use those. They don't really go well together. So And this is what's so exciting about people, because before ASP.NET Core was just a server-side language. And so everything was server-side. And if you wanted to have kind of a responsive front end, and you need to write JavaScript on the front end and your pages to do that. Now we can do all of that within Blazor. All right. So I've got two divs here. This top div here is just that H1 tag you can see here. That's this right here. And then I've got a button right here. And in here, I'm going to put a div tag in here. And I'm just going to show you kind of what this will sort of look like. So, and I've also built in some classes already. So I have a fade in text class, and I'll show you where this is coming from in a second. And I'm also going to go ahead and give this counter style, because I brought in some fonts that I wanted to use. And so I'll just put 10 in here, and we'll save it. And it should kind of go through an update and put a 10 on the screen here. Should for us. There it goes. So that's kind of what we want. We want this to have like this countdown clock in here, and it's sort of centered. You know, there's a visual illusion on this, Kevin, because it's like centered in here.
Yeah,
but
that's
it's
fine.
Pretty centered actually. Just these clouds set it off, but you know,
looks centered to me.
Yeah, I would probably move it up a tad, but we're not going to worry about it. Yeah. So that's what I want to do. I want to have this go from 10 down to 0.
Yeah, because it'd be boring if it just showed the winner, wouldn't it? We need a little,
so we got to have this countdown. You know, we got to count down the ball as it drops. You know, on New Year's Eve.
Yeah, I like it.
Okay, so so if we look at Solution Explorer here, you can see here the other thing that's really cool about Blazor is also have what's called isolated CSS. So this page has a CSS file that only impacts this HTML in here. It can't impact anything outside of it. It's isolated. So your styles that you put in here can't step over other styles and other CSS files. So it's kind of cool the way that works. And you can see here I've got a counter style, and that's that font Project Gorilla here. I'm also got a name style, and I'm using a different font for the names. And this is just my background here where that rocket logo is, nothing made here. And then I just have some animations here in CSS to fade in, fade out. So nothing really, nothing elaborate there. Okay. So let's test out our name here, see what it could look like. And so I'm going to put a name in here. We'll just go ahead and put Kevin's name in here. He's going to win. He's going to win.
Yeah.
Pretty sure he's going to win.
I mean, I did enter 75 times.
So if we look at our app there, get my app page here, and we go down, so it's going to look like that. So change the font. So that's what we want. We want to count down. Click the button, count it down to 0, fade it out, and then fade in the name.
Okay, so the name replaces kind of the countdown.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So now we know what our styles, what it's going to kind of look like. So let's get to work to coding it up here. All right, so I'm going to go back to my code here, and let's change this back to counter style. We're going to do the counter first. And what I want to do is, I can't just put, I can't just put a, I can't just put 10 in there. So I want to be able to, got lots of count. OU, me. So I can't put 10 in here as a literal right here in the HTML. So I need to make a variable that I can show here. So I'm going to make a variable down here in the code behind. So I'm going to say private. And I'm going to make a couple of variables. Caps locks on. That's what it is. I'm going to make my first one. I'm going to say start. So I want to start at 10. And then I'm going to make another one that's going to be, and then we'll say current count is what I'll call it. And we'll set that to 10 in the beginning, all right? So I've got two variables here, and what I want to do is the current count is what I want to show right here, okay? So I can reference with Blazor this current count here. And now anytime this value changes, it'll update my page there. So that's kind of cool, all right? Now the other thing that I want to do is I want to hide this. I don't want to show this until this button is clicked here, all right? And so what I can do is I'm going to create another Boolean variable here, and this is just going to show you the conditional formatting that we can achieve inside of Blazor. So I'm going to make a boolean or a bool, and I'm going to say show counter. And you notice that my Copilot is on, and it's giving me bad information. So just to let you know, Copilot doesn't
trying to
solve
do it
everything
for you, but not very well.
It's trying, but it doesn't know what I want yet. So what I can do here is I can set this to show counter false, and in here, and let's make this bigger so we can see what's going on here. I'm just going to write a quick if statement, and so @ allows me to write an if statement here, or C# right here inside of my code here. So I'm going to say X and that here. And so now I can say if show counter, and then this is saying this will evaluate the true or false inside here for an if then statement. You can be more explicit too. You can say equals true if you want to. But since we know this is a Boolean, we know that it's going to evaluate the true or false. So I just leave it a shortcut there. And so when I save that, it should disappear. So let's see here. And it does. So now you can see even while it's running here, it's evaluating this variable, and now this doesn't show. And so when I click this button here, I want to say set show counter to true, and then count it down. All right. So what I can do to wire the button up is I can make my button run a method in my code behind here. Let's write a quick method here inside our code block here, and we'll say private. And this is going to be what's called an async task, which is something that we want to run, but we don't want to lock up the UI. So it'll run an async, which means it'll spawn a thread, and we'll just call it countdown. And just to show you kind of how this works here, when we run this, we'll just set show counter equal to true. All right. And then another thing too about what's really good about the Visual Studio IDEs here, I click on this and you can tell that these are bound together by them highlighting them.
Yep.
Which shows you the type safety and all the things that don't exist inside of JavaScript that knows that these two things are the same thing. So pretty cool. And now I'm going to come in here to my button, and all I have to do is wire it up. And similar to what you've seen in JavaScript, but we have special Blazor signs here, say @, and then I can say on click and like an event here. And I give it a name of a method that I want, but I can't type anything I want. I've got to type in an actual function method. You can see again, it selected it and say, okay, I know what that is.
Yep.
It's a task home.countdown. And it's right, this one right here.
Cool.
This is kind of cool. All right. So if we save that, this may or may not save. Let's see if it does. It did. And we can click OK, and look, it shows up.
Okay. It's
kind of cool. All right. It's got to start there. So we're starting out, getting there. It is 0 because it doesn't know what countdown is. Now, one of the things I'll show you, one of the problems we have to solve in here is how we...
Yeah, why is it not 10? Why is it 0? I guess that's... Right.
Yeah, because it doesn't detect all changes here when it does it sometimes. And so like it doesn't know that it's 10, but so it knows that this is an integer and it just put it to 0. Okay. That's okay. We're going to fix that in just a second here. All right. So the next thing I want to do is I want to count down. Okay. So one way that we could count inside of code is we can use something called a for loop.
Yep.
So I'm going to say a for loop here. Now that time it did work.
I'm going to say it knows you actually want to count down too. Like, not
yeah, exactly. So I'll just take it. Thank you, Copilot. All right. So we'll check it here. Copilot says, hey, I want to start at 10. And then I want to, as long as it's greater than or equal to 0, I want to do minus minus. And then I'm going to set my current count equal to whatever this is. So it's going to change this. Okay. Now, normally this would work. Okay. This would work and the value would change over to loop. But one of the problems, not one of the problems, but one of the things you have to tell the UI is if I'm doing something in a loop, I need to do something like, hey, set this to tell the UI that it's changed. And what you do is you can say state has changed. And the only time you really have to do this inside of code is when you're doing something in a loop and you're changing a value, like a countdown or something like that. And you're like, okay, this value's changed, notify the UI, and it'll redraw the UI and just send the updates to it. Okay.
And that's just a built-in method, right?
It's a built-in thing for our page. So I'm going to refresh the page here so we get back to our false setting here. So notice that this is all running in memory. So when I refresh the page, it's going to go back to whatever the defaults are. And hopefully,
let's see if we get a countdown.
Let's see if it does it.
Oh, there we go.
There you go. And it's updating the page just like that.
Nice. And that little task delay, that's 1,000 milliseconds, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah,
so
1 second. So
right.
so it doesn't go really fast. I wanted to delay it so it would go.
If you didn't have that, would it even be visible? Would it just go?
It would just go straight to 0.
Okay.
And we could take it out. Let's see if we can take it out here. See what it does. And let's refresh the page. Get back to our initial state. It just goes to 0.
Okay.
It's really fast.
Seeing it, it's too fast.
Yep.
Okay. Cool.
So it's pretty cool. Let's put that back in there so we have it. So
much better.
The other thing that we want to do here is after this goes to 0, we want to fade it away. And so what I can do is I'm going to say show counter equal false, and that'll make it go away. All right.
Okay.
And then if I need to rerun this again, I can set the current count equal to whatever the start value is. I can set it back to 10. Okay. It not really matters for this, but like if you were running this multiple times, this is be something you want to do. I want to reset my counter. So let's save that code and let's refresh it. We'll get it back to its initial state. And now it should count down, fade out.
Disappear. Okay.
Should.
Let's see.
Yeah. Boom.
There we go.
Cool. Now, what's really great about this is I don't want this to be lost on if you haven't seen Blazor before. Notice here that I'm changing this value, and there's no like ID or the HTML element. There's no code where I have to like plumb up and say, okay, for this ID, set it equal to this. This is all automatic for Blazor. In other words, it's bound by using this right here, this @ bound to this variable, and it does the actual DOM updates for you. All you have to do is worry about your code. This is why everyone is so jazzed about Blazor is the two-way binding here.
Yeah, it's cool.
Makes your UIs super clean, and you can just worry about your code. You don't have to worry about DOM manipulation or anything like that. It automatically does it. Notice here too, this if statement too, it's checking counter whether you even write this to the page or not. And as this counter changes, which it does, sets it to true, shows up, sets it to false, goes away. It literally pulls this div tag right off the page. It's no longer in the source at all. So it's kind of cool based on the value of this. So we have these very conditional UIs. It's pretty neat. Okay. So let's do the next one. Let's write a brand new method here. And let's see.
Is this the important part?
The important part, yeah. So we'll call pick random winner. Okay. So I'm going to say private. And I'm just going to say async task again. And it puts some stuff in here, but we're going to change it. I don't like what it did here. I'm going to call it pick random winner. Give it a better name. Okay. And just get rid of this and just get rid of this. Just get rid of the whole thing. I'll do it together. So the first thing I want to do is pick a random number. Okay. So let me show you kind of like how this sort of works without showing you the real data. But over here, I have this folder called JSON data, and I have two sets of data here. One is this sweepstakes test data here. So I'm not going to show you the actual data. You can see here.
No, that's wrong. That's the real one.
Yes, the real one.
the
Yeah,
real
it's got
one.
Kevin's name in here multiple times. So like, you know,
You've got them confused.
they're all Kevin. So like, but what we're going to do is, if you know anything about JSON, JSON is an array of objects. So this is an array, and each one of these has an index. And so what I want to do is generate a random number between 0, which is the start of an array, and the end of this index here, whatever this max value is here down here at the bottom. Okay, -1. Okay, so this will be like 0 to 19 in this case of this one. All right. So what we need to do is pick a random number. Cancel. I'm going to go back to that here. And I'm going to save this. And I want to pick a random number. And this is pretty easy inside of C#. All right. So I can bring in a class and we'll say random equals new random. We actually can just say new too with the new syntax in C#. And what this will do is allows us to pick a random number. Now, for discussion, this is what's called pseudo-random, okay? And pseudo-random means that based on the seed, if the seed, you can put another value in here and it says, use this seed to help you generate the random numbers. If that seed is the same, it'll pick the same random numbers every time, okay? Now, if you don't pass it a seed, what it does is use your system clock. But if you're calling random new random inside of a loop, the system clock doesn't have enough resolution, and so you end up picking the same random numbers over and over again. And so what you can do is you can either randomize the seed, if you're doing this in a loop and a lot of them to help you do it, or there's actually another more sophisticated random number generator built into the .NET, a little bit harder to code with, that gives you true randomness. But for our case, this is going to work just fine.
So you're saying if you were coding for the lottery, you'd probably have to do more than what we're doing, but we're not coding for the lottery, so
we're not coding for the lottery. So this will be random pretty much. So what I want to do is we're going to call this the index, because we're going to use this as the index to our array, and we're going to say equals the random. Okay, let's say the next random number, and we're going to start at 0, 0. And we're going to go to the max of our contestants counts, all right, which I don't have right now. Okay, so I need to get the contestants first before I can actually do this. So I'm going to code up another method real quick, all right? And this is another thing inside of Blazor. Blazor has several kind of events that you can use, and one of them is on initialized async, which means that when the page is loading, run some code, okay? And so it's on initialized. There's other ones after everything is loaded in, you can do other events, but we're gonna say, and this is built in, so we're gonna say protected, and we're gonna say override, because this is built into .NET, and it allows us to use a function that Microsoft's already coded up for us, okay? But override allows us to say, hey, I want you to run this, but I also want to run my own code in here. And so basically, we'll say on initialize async, on init. Initialized async, initialize. See if I spelled that right. Let's see.
No.
On and
Yeah, you get an extra O in there.
yeah.
Instead of an I think.
Yeah. There we go. All right, so now it's saying that the method is invoked when the component is ready to start, having received its initial parameters. And parameters are things that are coming into a page in the render tree. Okay, override this method if you want to do something when it loads. Okay, so this is actually happens before the page is built, but there's things you want to may happen before the page is actually built, but the parameters been passed to it. So in the case of a page, you may pass an ID to something, and you need to use the ID to go maybe run a database query, and based on that database query, you're going to, show information or whatever. So in the case of a blog or something like that, on the side, async could go get the blog articles that you want, and then display them. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to get our contestants. Okay, so I'm going to create another variable up here that's going to hold our contestants. All right. So I'm going to say private, and this is going to be a list, and a list is a collection of stuff. And in our case, we have a type that we pre-built, and then we'll say contestant. I'll show you a little bit about how this works in a second. This is called a model. And we're going to say, yeah, we know it could be null, but we're going to handle it. So that's what that little question mark does. We'll call it contestants. All right. And so if you look over here to explore here, I've got models in here, and contestants are the fields or properties that I want to fill up. And I want to fill up these properties with the data here. And you can see the properties match: submit date, name, email address, US citizen over 18. Those are our 4 properties, and they map over to our model here. And this is also what's great about .NET is it's type safe, and we're using objects to do things, and they're strongly typed, which means they have to be strings and they have to have this name. And that's not the case in JavaScript. Now, TypeScript tries to put some layers of complexity over that to simulate how this works, but this is truly type safe, which is kind of cool. All right, so now that we know that this is a list of contestants and our model matches our data coming in, then we can pull them back using HTTP. All right, and so I can say contestants equal, and then we'll say await, because this is going to be a task, and we'll say HTTP, and this, we injected that early on, and we'll say get JSON from async, just like this. And from here, it's going to tell me sort of what it's going to do, but I'll change this in a second. We're going to go locally, so we don't have to use, but we would use this if we're hitting an API that's external to our system, like if you're hitting TMDB API, some kind of movie API, or some kind of API you want to hit. In our case, we're not going to do that. Now, we have to tell it, I'm expecting contestants to come back from the JSON. So like I'm telling it what type that I want, and I've got more than one. I've got a list of these coming back, right? And what we can do is here, since it's local to us, we can just put in our folder name, okay? In our case, I think that folder is JSON data. Yeah, JSON data. We'll say JSON data. Now notice here, I don't have to tell it that I'm in this www root folder. This is a special folder inside of an ASP.NET project, and this is our root folder where everything runs out of. So in fact, the way Blazor works, it actually runs out of one page, and this index.html is the page that serves up all of our content in a WASM project. So it's a SPA framework, just like React or Angular. So it knows that JSON data is in this folder by doing this, all right? But from here, I have to tell it what file that I want, and I do have to type this incorrectly. So I'm gonna go look at it again, see what I called it. Sweepstakes test data, all right? So we'll use the test data first to test our code, and then we'll run it, all right? So sweepstakes test data .json. I think I did that right. You can check my spelling. Sweepstakes test data JSON. All right. So that's all we have to do. And so what's great about this is this HTTP object can pull any kind of file or API over the internet or local and pull it into JSON. So we don't have to write how to consume this JSON, and then it converts it and puts it into a list of objects that we can use inside of C#. So this is something you do all the time inside of .NET. All right, so let's set a breakpoint here, and let's see if it, because I doubt it may like that change. It had to rebuild it. We're just rebuild it. And let's see when it comes up. This should stop when it runs. You'll see when it runs here, and that shows you that it's going to load the page here, and it does. And so I'm going to just step over this, and I'll mouse over this if I can. It may go out of, but there you go. So I have 20 contestants in here. It's hard to see, but like 20 contestants, and you can look in here, and I've got these email address, Kevin Doyle 1 down here to 14, Kevin Doyle 15.
I'm definitely going to win.
You're definitely going to win the first time anyway, right? So now let's stop this. And so now we know that our data is coming back. And this is kind of how you would get data to an API and in general and in Blazor, your API would have your database access or whatever it is. So this is how you communicate from a WASM object to some kind of backend using WASM. All right, you're using HTTP to hit an API. In our case, we're hitting a JSON file directly. All right. So now I can come back here, and now I can probably pick my thing here. And so I can say now I can use my variable contestants, and that's going to be dot count. An array gives me how many items are in there, and that's what I want to do. And so this will be 0 to the count of our array. Okay, it should work, of course. Okay. So hopefully it works. Maybe 1 too high. All right, so let's do that. Count -1. All right. So now I have an index here, and all I have to do now is say create a variable up here, one more variable here, and we'll hold the winner name. And so we'll say private string, and then we'll say winner name. Okay, string.empty. You can do it multiple ways. You can do this, or you can hit something like that. So our winner name is like that.
You could just set it to Kevin there if you liked.
Yeah, just set it to Kevin, and then it doesn't matter what random number we pick. It's always going to be this. So, so we'll do this for now. And no, so now we can set our winner based on the index that we have. So we can say winner equals, and we'll just say contestants. And if you've used arrays before, and then in here, it's the contestants at whatever index comes back, and we'll just get the property we want. Now notice here, because it's type safe, it already knows that this object contestants has these properties on it. So we'll just pick the name property there. Okay. And we'll make sure that's spelled right. Winner name, right? That's what we called it, right? What we called it?
You've got too many N's in that.
Yep. But notice too that it was complaining like, I don't know what this is. Yeah. And that's type safety, and that's really great. JavaScript will compile and run, and you don't know what's going on. It just blows up. Okay, so we have a pick a random winner, okay? And then we can run the button when we click it. And so let's go back over here and say, you know what? Show counter equals false, winner is equals start. And now I need a place to show this. So if I don't have the show counter, I can do else here. And I can write another div statement. So I'm going to say div. And let's see here. And we have got an app here. Second, Kevin. We'll say class equals, and we'll go fade in text. Yep. And this one will be name style. It knew my name style. It's seeing the styles that are in the isolated, which is great. And we'll say at winner name. Boom.
Cool.
And it's not like in this. Let me make sure that this works correctly. Control KD. All right. So that should work if we call pick random winner. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a delay in here too. I'm going to pick this, and just before we do it, delay it like 2 seconds. A little more suspense right after the 0.
Okay.
All right, let's run it. And I think we now have a random number generator and a random picker, I think.
Let's see. So our sample here has 20 different versions of me in it, right? So we'll know which ones, because they're all named differently slightly, right?
Yeah, so let's see here.
Let's see.
3, 2, 1, 0. Kevin Doyle 5.
Yes, I knew it. That's me.
And just to show you it is random, we'll do it again.
I just had a feeling today was going to be the day for me.
The day's the day you get the Oculus. The new MacBook. Kevin Doyle 8. And so no matter how many times I run this, it's going to pick a new random number for me. And that's because even though it's pseudo-random, the clock ticket has enough precision in this case to change the seed and give me a unique number every single time.
Yeah. Cool.
There you go. All right. So you ready?
That's it.
Ready?
Thanks everybody for the prize. That's amazing. Thanks.
So let's
switch it out for the real file. And
here we go. And then we're only going to run it once. So sweepstakes data. This has all of our people in there.
Yeah, and the reason we're not showing that, is because it has everybody's email addresses in it, and we don't want to show everybody else's email addresses.
Yeah, so personally identifiable information is kind of bad on a YouTube live show.
Yeah.
So we're going to save it. So let's just check to make sure that I spelled that right. Sweepstakesdata.json. There we go.
So here we go.
I'm going to stop it and make sure it runs.
Yeah. And this is it. We're going to run it once. We're going to click the button once. And it's going to pick a singular winner. So this is going to be somebody who's going to win either the MacBook or the Surface Book, the Oculus, and the year's access to learn.coderfoundry.com.
And that means when we get Blazor and the self-paced course, you'll get that too. That will come out this year. So like all the updates that we add to the platform, you get for 1 year. That's kind of cool.
Yep, definitely. By the way, before we do this, Paul says he has a feeling it's not going to be me. Why would you say that, Paul? Just jinxing me.
I did scrub the file for people that work at Coder Foundry.
I tried to put my name in like 25 times. It weren't happening apparently.
Let's see who it wins. Now, it may be anticlimactic. Some of you guys put your first name in here, so like if some guy. So basically, once this counts down, whoever wins, I'm gonna reach out to them on an email for the email address that you gave us, and that's how we'll do it.
Let's see, here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Ed Downs has won it, so maybe he's watching, maybe he's not.
I don't recognize the name from chat, so I don't know. Maybe because maybe they have a different name in chat. But if you are in chat, please let us know. If not, I'm going to email Ed because I have Ed's email address, and we will hook up those prizes for Ed. Awesome. Yeah. Congratulations.
And go back to live here, Kevin.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Right, hopefully you enjoyed that. Now, that was fun.
I did. That was fun. Even though I didn't win, it was fun.
Yeah.
Even though I didn't win, it was fun.
Ed Downs won the big prize, so we'll send him an email.
Yep. Yeah. Awesome.
All right.
Congrats, Ed. I don't think he's here, so I don't think that he's here. I don't see him, so. From earlier, by the way, the book, Simon's in the UK, so he can't take the book, but I did choose another name from the list. Real quick, same random way while you were doing that, and it was Lane Walker. So Lane, if you're still
here,
Lane
Walker.
Walker.
I know Lane.
Oh, do you? Oh, okay. So
I know the name. I know the name for sure.
Okay, so Lane, if you're still here, drop me an email, info@coderfoundry.com, info@coderfoundry.com, and I'll take care of it from there for the book.
Ridge-Rader, when does the 200K contest start?
Who knows? Another 5 years, maybe, the way YouTube goes.
Yeah. So we're going to give away a Lambo for $1 million. That's what we're going to do. So
don't say that. They'll hold us to it.
I know. Yeah, exactly. I was just kidding.
This is good. This is my favorite comment. Of Kevin, aka Ed Downs. I'm gonna be like, no, it's okay. I'll come pick it up, Ed. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, this was fun. This is definitely fun. This is the way to do a contest, right? It's like, why? Because we were thinking about this, like, what's the best way to give it away? Like, let's code the thing. It's like, we can actually do this. We can do a random number generator code and make it look cool.
Hopefully you guys like Blazor. It's cool. Hopefully if you've been using React or JavaScript, you realize how way simpler UIs are. And like, this is why we're so absolutely stoked about Blazor. And we're talking to companies, and I'm telling you, the common thing we're seeing is, hey, we're on .NET MVC, we're moving over to Blazor. How do we ... do this?
Yeah, people switching, right?
Companies are figuring it out, and so like, even if you're a junior dev coming out and you've done Blazor, it's going to be like, really? How'd you do authentication? Because that seems to be a problem with everybody. And like, oh, let me show you. Like how I do that. So how are you doing database access with Blazor? You know, how are you making the render modes work? You know, what are you doing with, render modes? How are you making something run server side and client side at the same time? And like, how are you figuring that out? And so we have the architecture pattern that we're pushing out from Coder Foundry and how these apps should be architected. I think we have a really good plan on that. Microsoft hasn't given any guidance on how you do that yet. So I think we're gonna push our stuff out in the universe. People will like it. Right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So someone says once you hit 100K, 500K comes quick. Yeah.
Again, the Lambos at 1 million, not 500K. don't get too excited.
Exactly.
Hey, at 1 million, we better get Lambos each, I think.
Yeah.
Although, it's not. Yeah. I told you, YouTube doesn't give you that much money. I'll tell you that.
Brian King says the orange Lambo would be sweet. I think a Lambo in any color would be sweet, but you're right. Coder Foundry orange.
I'm not
sure. Can I get an FF99 3B? Can I get it an FF99 3B?
Maybe. Hey, you have enough money, you can get it in whatever you like.
Repaint it. Yeah, exactly.
Yep. Well, Simon wants us to do more live sessions too. Yeah, we will get back to these, definitely. We haven't abandoned doing live sessions at all. We just haven't done them in a while. We definitely will get back to these again with a bunch of new, we'll do the Q&As, and we want to do more portfolio reviews and that kind of stuff too. We like doing that stuff. And we know it helps. So
I've been working on the .NET 8 course. Honestly, I was teaching in this current cohort. I don't always teach all the cohorts, so I was kind of looking at the things that we've built, seeing how students behaved and that kind of stuff. So like trying to figure that out. So 230 Lambos are overrated.
Paul, the only people that say Lambos are rated are those that don't have them. Okay.
People that drive Priuses say that. So.
But I agree. I wouldn't own a Lambo. Give me a Ferrari any day.
I would Ferrari.
Oh, that's great. Right. So we'll be back again to do another one of these at some point. We'll do another, like I said, Bobby said, we're planning on another live coding thing. And we'll do some portfolio reviews here at some point once we get back to normalcy. But yeah, congratulations to the winners. Always fun to hang out with everybody here.
All right, cool. So Ryan Colombo says he's 2 years Blazor strong. He's got a 2-year anniversary.
Oh wow! Okay, that's nice.
We're not kidding. I mean, like, we're not saying this because we teach the course. I'm telling you guys, like, this is something that is game changing from just not ASP.NET development. Just like it's putting a lot of pressure on the other framework developers because like they're going to have to figure out server side and how does that all work. And it's not that they don't have a solution. They do. Some of them do. Some of them don't. It's just that Microsoft's is so well put together. Once people start discovering it, like, wow, that's kind of slick. That makes things so much easier to do, so much more foolproof. Not to mention like just outright speed. So if you have a high performing app and you need a SPA framework, Blazor kind of fits that nicely. It's like it's really, really quick, especially for high performance sites, lots of users, that kind of stuff. So we're excited about it.
Yep, definitely.
All right. Any last things before we go, Kevin?
Just one last thing. Thank you again, everybody, for subscribing. Thanks for helping us to hit 100K. We share the plaque with you for sure.
That's it. Thank you.
And we'll see everybody soon.
All right. Later, guys. Keep coding.